Good evening. My name is Craig Brown and I'm the CEO of ECR Minerals. I'm fortunate to have our other two directors on the board along here today. David Tang, our chairman. David, perhaps you can stand up. And Sam Garrett, non-executive director. Sam will talk to you a little bit later. Okay, disclaimer. Here we are. About ECR Minerals. Our strategic objective is to discover the next multi-million ounce gold deposit in Australia. Our main focus is on Australia. We, as mentioned previously, the Fraser Institute and others believe in the environment of Australia is rated the second most solid, most prominent mining area in the world, and it's seen to have the greatest amount of support for investors. It's also a very easy country to operate in. You have a large amount of expertise, great infrastructure, and a lot of support services around you. ECR currently owns 5 licenses in Victoria, Central Victoria. Central Victoria, there was a total of 85 million ounces historically mined. We have quite a substantial team down in Victoria. Dr. Rodney Boucher, and we have approximately 5 geologists working with him, all contractors around the area who are supporting our current operations. One of the interesting developments in Victoria or Central Victoria is the Fosterville Gold Mine. Produces about 300,000 ounces a year, hugely profitable, and it just seems to keep getting better. This is the summary, but also recently, at the end of 2018, we applied for a number of licenses in the Yilgarn, and Sam will talk to you about those later. Board of Directors. I've worked in the mining industry for 24 years. The 3 previous companies I've worked in, been a senior manager, director of, founder of. Every single one's been successful in its operations, both discovering resources, putting mines into production, and realizing value for shareholders. David Tang is the former president of a company called China Non-Ferrous International. China Non-Ferrous International employs approximately 30 to 40,000 people worldwide, and activities in DRC, Zambia, and extremely successful. Sam Garrett is a relatively new director to join the board. He's got 30 years experience and he's been extremely successful working for both large multinational mining companies on the exploration side, but also juniors in Australia. So he certainly has the expertise, and he's bringing a bit of life to the board. ECR, ticker symbol ECR, currently 445 million shares in operation, market cap only 3.6 million, and as you can see, as soon as a junior gets a great discovery, I mean, the market cap can grow certainly substantially from there. So that's what we're focusing on at the moment, discovering a large gold resource in Australia. I've talked to you a little bit. It's the second most attractive jurisdiction for mining investment according to the Fraser Institute. We have investments in 2 other countries for historical investments, but as I said, Australia certainly seems to be the place where it's all happening at the moment. Initially, we acquired 2 licenses, Avoca and Baillieston. We've completed drill programs on both areas within Baillieston and Avoca. We had something like 48 prospects within those 2 initial licenses. We picked up another 3 licenses since, and we're doing work on all of them. As I mentioned, we're looking at Windida, or we've applied for 9 licenses in Windida in Western Australia. We've got historical assets in the Philippines and also in Argentina. This is a map of Central Victoria, and as you can see, the main town up here is a place called Bendigo. In the centre, Bendigo was the historic centre for mining in Australia. It was the first location of the Australian Stock Exchange, or the Bendigo Stock Exchange. Gold Exchange was located down here in Ballarat, and as you can see through the various gold dots throughout the screen, the amount of mining which has actually taken place, and a lot of the mineralisation over here is more quartz veins. Over here we have quartz veins, but also a lot of disseminated gold, which is being mined at both Costerfield and Fosterville mines. Down here in Ballarat, we've got a substantial mine which is still operating today and mining under the existing town. The Baillieston project, we completed a drill program there in 2017. And we followed it up with work on two of the prospects this year, both Blue Moon and Black Cat. We were very successful to have a new gold discovery at Blue Moon last year, so it's actually a plus for us. There's not many companies which actually discover gold at a new prospect, so we're very pleased with that. We followed it up with some quite substantial, quite reasonable drilling results which were announced recently. HR3, this is an area which we drilled earlier last year, in the middle of last year, and certainly in the middle of 2017, and certainly we're doing a lot more work there at the moment, and we had a very successful rock chip sampling program in the middle of last year. Another slide on Byron. Blue Moon, this is the place where we've just drilled 10 holes recently. Our drill program this year was a total of 3,300 metres, which covered both Blue Moon and Creswick. As you can see, this is the intercept which was found last year. This is the results from the first quarter of this year, 2 metres at 17.87, 15 metres at 3.81 grams per tonne gold. That's a picture of the rig on site. Between the drilling at the two prospects, which is Creswick and Blue Moon, the total cost was about $700,000. However, we're very Australian dollars. However, we were very fortunate that 43% of our expenditure is covered by the Australian government in the form of a cash rebate. So the real cost to us to drill the 3,300 metres was only about £250,000. So you know, it's very cheap to explore because there's such great funding and grants provided by the Australian government. A number of other anomalies identified. Black Cat, we've got a small drill program, a RAB drill program going on at Black Cat at the moment, 450 metres, commenced in February. I understand that they finished the last holes yesterday and the samples are going off to the laboratory, so we hope to get those back fairly soon. Creswick, this is a historical mining area. It's believed that the majority of the alluvial gold, which has been mined both down in the Ballarat area and then up in the Berry Lead system, comes from the Dimmock's main shale, which runs through our licence of Creswick. And we've been drilling down there and we expect to have the results fairly soon. Just the former results. Okay. A lot of hard rock mines out at Avoca. There's two prospects that we're looking on at Avoca at the moment, and we're looking to do some work. Henry's Hill, which is a form of granite, and also we've got a small area to the north up at Surprise, and there's been previous drilling back in the 90s, and the grade of mineralisation is up to 3 grams per tonne. It's a mixture of not just gold but molybdenum as well, so it looks quite interesting, and so we're doing some further field work on site there. Wendita, I'd like to introduce Sam Garrett, and Sam can talk to you about the activities or the licenses we've applied for on Western Australia.
Thanks, Craig. Thanks everybody for coming tonight, and thank you for the opportunity to join the board of ECR. Wendita offers ECR the opportunity to get into a regional scale grassroots exploration for greenstone hosted gold. As most of you probably already know, the Yilgarn in Australia is one of the richest endowed gold provinces of the world, along with Canada and West Africa. These are the applications. We've got 9 applications in play for a total of about 1,600 square kilometres of ground in application, mostly in this sort of desert style environment. So this is the geology of the Yilgarn block. The green being the greenstones, which tend to host or exclusively host the gold deposits. And this slide, these yellow markers indicate the larger gold deposits. The Wendita project is right at the northern end of the Yilgarn, and we'll get into the reasons why that's strategically prospective in a minute. So here we are. This slide indicates, this is an image of the gravity, so regional gravity. You can see the greenstones are very tightly correlated with gravity highs. So gold mineralisation in yellow here and nickel mineralisation in blue is very tightly correlated with the gravity highs. So the consequence of that in Western Australia is it's extremely hard to find, to be able to pick up ground as an explorer. So the opportunity arose here at Wendita to find ground which is undercover. So here's the greenstone in outcropping with nickel and gold prospects. To the north, this greenstone, defined by the gravity anomaly, extends beneath the Canning Basin. And for all intents and purposes, hasn't really been explored previously for gold. Previous exploration has focused on the overlying sediments for base metals and some manganese. So in a sense, it's a greenfields opportunity, but it's a very large one. It's a regional scale target that ECR has the potential to explore. This is the equivalent map outlining the magnetic features. Again, these are the greenstones. ECR has a number of interesting magnetic features you can see here that have never been tested. So what we're looking at here for ECR as an opportunity here is scale. So a large area, unexplored, and plenty of work to come. Thanks, Craig.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. We've got two of the assets on our balance sheet. One is the SLN project in Argentina. 7 licenses in total. We're looking at other options to deal with those assets at the moment, and in talks with various other groups. Dangalay project in the Philippines, great project. We've earned a 25% interest in this project. The problem is, unfortunately, the government of the Philippines isn't particularly being supportive of mining at the moment. Reasons to invest in ECR: 100% ownership of gold projects in a world-class mining jurisdiction. Strategically identified a number of great projects with the right geology, right location, and that they have the potential to deliver a multi-million ounce resource. Dedicated, experienced board of directors. Secured, we've got great technical expertise on board, not just Rodney, as mentioned there, and we have quite a lot of ongoing news flow. And we're fully funded until Q2 2020. As I say, the money which we spent, we get 43% back from the Australian government. We do have a number of warrants outstanding, and hopefully when we get the right results, they'll come through. So we're pretty positive about things going ahead, and we've certainly got enough cash to do quite a lot of work that we needed. Thank you very much.